What's up, guys? So, on this particular video, we'll be discussing about Bhutan in the month of February 2026. What you should be expecting in terms of the weather, the road condition, the places that you need to be visiting. Overall, what is the kind of routing that you should be taking for your trip to Bhutan, the amount of budget that you need for your trip, and most of all, what kind of gear that you need for your trip to Bhutan in the month of February 2026. Now, starting off with the temperature, you need to understand that February is still a winter month in Bhutan, so by default, it's going to be cold. The daytime temperature will range from anywhere between 7 to 15 degrees. This temperature variation depends entirely on where you are. In places like Thimphu and Paro, which are more like hill stations, it's going to be colder, while in places like Punakha, which is closer to the the plains, it is going to be warmer, but it's going to be not much of a difference. If you go to interior places like Ha Valley and Pobjika, it's definitely going to be much more colder because of the forest area. Now, you need to remember that in the night, the temperature will drop drastically. You can expect the mercury level to fall to as low as 0 degrees in places like Thimphu, Paro, and Ha Valley. So, come prepared with plenty of woolen wear. It is in places that are the interior regions like Bumatang, Ha Valley, Pobjika, where it gets really, really cold in the night. It can even snow in these parts. So, come prepared with your winter best and come with layers of jackets, not jackets but layers of clothing, so that you can change it as per what you feel. Now, overall, will it rain in Nepal, in Bhutan, in the month of February? There is a high possibility of it raining, so carry a small three-fold umbrella. This is not the monsoon rain, this is the winter rain, which is cold and heavy droplets. Winter rain is much worse than the monsoon rain because it is so cold that it might end up giving you an instant fever or a cold in a matter of 24 hours. So to avoid that kind of a viral, come prepared with an umbrella and carry a small three-fold umbrella which can easily fit into your backpack or your suitcase, but keep it handy. Now, when it comes to the passes, remember that when you're going through these mountain passes, they will be covered in snow, but by default, in your vehicle, you'll have a local guide and a driver who's a local. So so it's very unlikely that you'll get stuck anywhere. The roads are very well made in Bhutan, and Bhutan is completely tourism driven. So it's a given default that they take care of most of your needs along the road. So even if the road condition goes bad, they will make sure that the tourist vehicles get through and your trip is not curtailed. Now, when it comes to the places that you should be visiting in Bhutan, by default, you need to spend at least a couple of nights in Paro and Thimphu. If you're planning on going to the Tiger Monastery for the trek to Paro, you will need minimum 2 days, 1 day to reach and the next day to do the hike. So plan accordingly. Do not plan a trip to Bhutan for less than 6 nights, 7 days. Remember, Bhutan is an entire country. It might seem like it's a small country, but it's a Himalayan country. So because of that, it's going to take you time to travel within the country. And when it comes to network, Tashi SIM is the best SIM card provider in Bhutan. You'll get excellent 4G and I don't think 5G has come yet, but 4G network. It is better than taking international roaming because you can always tell all your near and dear ones, even your work colleagues, that they can directly WhatsApp call you because WhatsApp calls work. But for those who can make do with WhatsApp calling, it's a very good option to take a local SIM because that will work out much more cheaper as compared to taking international roaming. Along with this, you need to remember that Bhutan is a country where Indian currency doesn't work. So by default, you will have to ask your travel agency to exchange money for you, or you'll have to carry notes in 100, 50, 100, and 200. 500 is not accepted. Along with this, Indian debit cards and credit cards do not work. So no matter how exclusive your international card is, and if your bank says that, there's a fine print which says that no Indian cards will work in Bhutan and Nepal. So it's not going to work. Do not even try your luck because that's going to leave you stranded. Hence, talk to your travel agency in advance to arrange for the money to be exchanged, and if you fall short, even the guide from Bhutan can get it done for you with you giving them money when you reach back to Phunsaling. You have to work this out internally with your travel agency. Now, what you should be doing in Thimphu is you should be staying a night in Thimphu and just exploring the night vibe, because Thimphu has an excellent night vibe. And I'm talking about the vibe where you can actually chill around, have fun. You can go to karaoke bars, plenty of good alcohol. Smoking is prohibited in Bhutan, so there's no way that you can go and buy cigarettes in Bhutan even if it gets cold. You can carry cigarettes from India, but it's a risky business. You cannot smoke in public. But all the rooms that you take and hotels that are provided will have ashtrays, because everybody smokes in their rooms. Now, when it comes to Bhutan, you have to have a inner line permit which they need, which is called a SDF permit, which is now taxable to Indians also. So they'll charge you anywhere between 1,500 rupees per day. And now remember, this is a default. You cannot bypass this. You have to get this done, and your travel agency is the best option to get this done. Independent travel to Bhutan is not allowed. You have to get a guide to take you around. So by default, you'll have to tie up with either an Indian agency or a Bhutanese agency, depending on whichever you're comfortable with. Now, Bhutan, the places beyond Thimphu and Paro, I would personally recommend is Punakha. You can either stay a night in Punakha or just visit Punakha, go to the Fertility Temple and the Suspension Bridge. Punakha also has the riverside where you can go, chill, relax, and then maybe return to your hotel or drive from there to Paro, depending on what kind of a blueprint you have. If you want a real authentic experience in Bhutan, then you have to visit places like Pobjika, Ha Valley, and Bumatang, because that is where the remote interior parts of Bhutan are. Going to Ha Valley and Pobjika is a long drive, but the roads are very, very well made, so you wouldn't really face any kind of challenges along the way like what you would expect in the Himalayan regions. So this way, once you reach Ha Valley or Pobjika or Bumatang, you can always opt for a semi-homestay kind of an accommodation where you'll actually get an experience of what the local culture is in these places. It's very basic, modest living, but at the same time, it's a very good experience for those who are experience gatherers, because Bhutan is all about the experience. It's a well developed tourism sector out there. Now, when you are thinking about what is the budget that you need to have, remember Bhutan budget depends entirely on the number of people and the number of days. More the number of people, longer the days. Like if you're going for 7, 8, 9 days, the costing will be anywhere between, I would say, 35,000 to 50,000, depending on the category of hotel that you're opting for and the meal plan that you're taking. But be prepared to book your flights in advance, because the flights to Bagdogra are pretty costly if you book them last minute. If you book them in advance, you'll get a very good deal. Now, the other thing that you need to keep in mind when you're planning for Bhutan is the fact that you do not need to overpack, because in Thimphu and Paro, there are plenty of markets where you can buy souvenir t-shirts and other clothing. So come with enough of clothing. Do not overpack, because you will definitely end up buying some souvenirs which will come really, really handy later on your trip. Now, Bhutan is a country which is totally pro tourism, but they're not okay with people independent travel, especially for Indians. So by default, you have to go with the travel operator. If you're someone who's looking for a trip to Bhutan and are confused about how to go about it, we do have trips to Bhutan. You can click on the link in the description and you'll go directly to our website, where you can either book directly or chat with our sales team, who will guide you through the booking process. If you have any queries related to your own personal travel to Bhutan, you can leave a comment in the comment section and we'll be more than happy to resolve your queries. So now, till our next video about Bhutan, stay safe, stay happy, and stay blessed.